Alrighty, as we move into section 5.4, we did a lot of factoring and solving polynomial equations. So they ask us in number 5 to factor by grouping. So when we factor by grouping, we break it into our first two terms and our second two terms, and we take out our GCF from each group. From our first group, I can take out an x squared, and I'm left with x plus 8. Now in my second group, I can take out a 4, but we know our parentheses need to match, so I should take out a negative 4. So I'm left with a positive x plus 8. Then what we do is we factor our binomial from each group. So our first group, x squared times x plus 8, and our second group, negative 4 times x plus 8, the common term is that x plus 8. So we pull that out, and when we do, we're left with that x squared minus 4, and still equal to 0. Now, we're not quite done factoring. Our x squared minus 4, difference of 2 squared. We have dots. So I have x plus 8, x plus 2, x minus 2. As I solve and I set each set of parentheses equal to 0, I find that x equals negative 8, negative 2, and positive 2. Problem number 6, factor the sum and difference of cubes and solve. So that is our SOAP formula. But before we do, remember that whenever we factor, we always check first for an overall GCF. And I guess I didn't in problem number 5, but we confirm, nope, no overall GCF. But in number 6, yes, 216 is a perfect cube. Yes, 27 is a perfect cube. However, we're able to factor 9 out of both of those. So I divide out 9 and set it aside. I'm left with 8x cubed minus, oops, sorry, not 9, 27. I can take 27 out of both of those, and I'm left with 8x cubed minus 1 equals 0. Now I still have difference of 2 cubes, so I can still use SOAP. I just have different values. So my a is going to be the cubed root of 8x cubed. Well, that's 2x. My b is going to be the cubed root of 1, which is 1. So my 27 out front doesn't go anywhere. And then remember your SOAP formula says it goes a and then b, so 2x and 1. And then in your second set of parentheses, a squared, well, when we take 2x and we square it, we get 4x squared. And then you take a times b, 2x times 1 is 2x. And then lastly, b squared. Your signs go, oh, the same sign. I had minus before, so I start with minus. The opposite sign, and then always positive. Set it equal to 0. This 27 out front doesn't give me an additional solution, so as I begin to solve, I don't need to worry about it. That first set of parentheses gives me positive 1/2 for one of my answers. That's great. From my second set of parentheses, whenever we use SOAP, you will always have imaginary solutions. You'll get 1 real solution and 2 imaginary. We will solve this guy using our quadratic formula then. So using our quadratic formula, a is our leading coefficient of x squared, and then b is our coefficient of x, and c is our constant. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. And I begin to simplify from here. So 2 squared, I get 4. So negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 4 times 4 times 1 is 16 all over 8. Well, 4 minus 16 is negative 12. So that's where we'll get those imaginary solutions. Negative 2 plus or minus, and I'm even going to change it to I radical 12 right away just so I don't forget, all over 8. But I'm not quite done because I can break down the square root of 12. The square root of 12 becomes 2 radical 3. So x equals negative 2 plus or minus 2i, don't forget about the I out front, times the square root of 3 all over 8. And then finally we notice that we've got all of these even values, so we can take everything, divide by 2. Our last solutions are negative 1 plus or minus I radical 3 all over 4.